our education system as we have it fit for purpose going forward? Do we really need to go back to the drawing board and make fast moves to adapting?
Okay. Wow, so sorry. Because that question is, it's like someone saying to me, is artificial intelligence a good thing? And what they don't realize is behind every single algorithm, there's a human agenda.
Sure.
Education has a human agenda. And in many countries, that human agenda is education is all about reading, writing, arithmetic. Let's be clear, curricula are put together so that students can learn and learn to regurgitate and learn to do examinations and assessments so that eventually they will come to a high point in their career when they will then, if they wish, go on to third level, because there's a system of door opening and enablement and empowerment there through certain marks that go on into life and into university. And then you look at research which was done in Oxford and the United States a few years back, when top 1% of students were brought into an interview because they were the top 1% academically, and they were asked questions about empathy and love, connection, and they all failed, and because they weren't prepared. So is education fit for purpose? I am sure that every government that I would speak to would say that the education system they have and the curricula that they have are fit for purpose for their country. But is education, the Greek word, the Latin word educo, to lead? I would have to question what are the necessary lessons that should be taught in the 21st century. And one thing is certain, we used to say adapt, change and overcome. I used to say that's rubbish. Adapt, change, learn, unlearn, relearn, and transform, because you will never overcome. Simply because if you overcome something, that means you've reached the ultimate point. Education is a process, and education was always meant to lead the human being. Plato and others said to become active citizens. And you had the idea of saying we're prosumers, a consumer who eats and then proactively gives back. So is there any system, do I believe there's any system of education in the world right now that actually treats the human being as a human being in themselves totally and is accepted by all governments and society as being the right one? No.
So really that notion of holistic education that we all trot out, really we don't meet it. Let's say at the moment, employers would say that youngsters coming into the workplace have none of the soft skills. So really, do we need to start teaching emotional intelligence from the get-go?
Now we're on to IQ and EQ. I love that one.
Yes.
To me, EQ and a person's EQ is of equal, if not greater importance than their IQ.
Absolutely.
And I would not throw any baby out with the bathwater. I believe that many of the subjects that are there should give a wider choice to students, but should not be assessed in the way they're being assessed, as in a 3-hour exam after 13 years of school. And that applies nearly globally. When you've got 4-year-olds in certain countries globally who are doing 2 or 3 hours after school, how shall I put this, grinds. Yes, 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds. Wow. Certain countries are doing grinds after school, so they go ahead. My thinking would always be this: the combination of as many IQ and EQ experiences provide the human being with that which he, she, or they, or them already are, which is a complex collection of more than just IQ. So it's like someone said, I'm only going to go to a doctor because I only believe in doctors, and I won't welcome any complementary therapies. Sometimes there is no just one answer, but one thing I am certain of, that IQ and EQ at worst should be equal and equitable. I use the words again. And systems of education, one thing COVID has taught them: everything you taught was solid, lads, ain't no longer solid. If everyone wants to be a doctor, trust me, let them all into college, as happens in certain European countries, for the first year. They'll learn very, very quickly. Actually, I don't want to be a doctor, but then you give them the option to go to something else that they want. And you know what? They'll find their passion. And when someone finds their passion, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you find your passion, you excel. And now you have 21st century where people are excelling and loving what they're doing. And then Plato's idea of being a proactive citizen of society, then it becomes a reality.